Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Sunday, February 6, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Detroit is averaging 102.4 points per game. They scored 93 points in their last game, making 32.7% of their field goals and 38.5% of their three-pointers. Hamidou Diallo led the way for the Pistons with 21 points and 14 rebounds. Saddiq Bey finished with 21 points and 4 assists, while Killian Hayes added 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Detroit has struggled defensively, giving up 111.7 points per game. They gave up 102 points in their last game and will need a similar effort if they want to win this game. The Minnesota Timberwolves are averaging 112.3 points on 44.6% shooting and allowing 110.8 points on 45.3% shooting. Karl Anthony Towns is averaging 24.3 points and 3.9 assists, while Anthony Edwards is averaging 22.3 points and 3.6 assists. D'Angelo Russell is the third double-digit scorer, and Malik Beasley is grabbing 3 rebounds. The Minnesota Timberwolves are shooting 34.5% from beyond the arc and 76.4% from the free throw line. The Minnesota Timberwolves are allowing 34.8% shooting from deep and are grabbing 45 rebounds per game. Our first betting pick will be Minnesota Timberwolves minus 11.5. The Detroit Pistons are averaging 102.4 points on 42% shooting and allowing 111.6 points on 47.2% shooting. Jerami Grant is averaging 19.6 points and 4.6 rebounds, while Cade Cunningham is averaging 15.8 points and 5.2 assists. Saddiq Bey is the third double-digit scorer, and Frank Jackson is grabbing 1.5 rebounds. The Detroit Pistons are shooting 32% from beyond the arc and 77.9% from the free throw line. The Detroit Pistons are allowing 36.7% shooting from deep and are grabbing 42.6 rebounds per game. Minnesota is averaging 112.3 points per game. They scored 128 points in their last game, making 50.6% of their field goals and 44.1% of their three-pointers. Anthony Edwards led the way for the Timberwolves with 25 points and 3 rebounds. Taurean Prince finished with 23 points and 6 rebounds, while Karl Anthony Towns added 21 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. Minnesota has struggled defensively, giving up 110.8 points per game. They gave up 117 points in their last game and will need to do a better job if they want to get the win. Our second betting pick will be over 228.5. Philadelphia 76ers vs Chicago Bulls. Despite the Ben Simmons melodrama, Philadelphia remains within reach of the Eastern Conference lead. With a win on Sunday, the 76ers will trail top-seeded Chicago by just 1 game. As for Simmons, the embattled all-star point guard is linked to several trade rumors, but none bigger than a deal involving James Harden. If Philadelphia swaps its inactive former floor general for Harden, the former Rocket star would be reunited with 76ers executive Daryl Morey. The third time will be the charm for the Bulls. Chicago has a deep roster, and there will be others to step up and compete if Zach LaVine and Kobe White can't go for this game. DeMar DeRozan is having an MVP-caliber season, and he's going to put it to the test against the visiting Sixers. Philly has some impressive defensive accolades, but they haven't played well enough offensively to keep them in games. A strong defensive showing is clearly important, but at the end of the day, the sport of basketball is about getting buckets. Keep in mind, the Sixers are the only team worse than the Bulls on the boards. So this is clearly an opportunity for Chicago to dominate in the rebounding department. Those fewer possessions will make it even harder on the Sixers to conjure up any forms of magic in this game. Our first betting pick will be Chicago Bulls to cover. Zach LaVine is questionable with a back injury, and Kobe White is questionable with a groin ailment. The Bulls could potentially enter Sunday's game down 2 of their top 5 scorers. It's a tough spot to be in against a Sixers team that has beaten them once already at the United Center this season. They need to keep the pressure on the Sixers like they did against the Pacers on Friday night. Joel Embiid looks like he's stranded on an island at times in games. There are simply moments where there isn't enough firepower and the Sixers completely fall apart. That's the team the Bulls are probably hoping to run into. Even if Lavin and White can't go, Berezin is smack dab in the middle of an MVP caliber season. This Bulls team is going to find a way to get buckets on their home floor. Our second betting pick will be under 215.5. Boston Celtics. Orlando Magic. The Celtics played a great first 3 quarters, but nearly blew it in the fourth as they were outscored by 13, but they were resting most of their starters. In the game, they were led by Jason Tatum, who dropped 24 points with 9 rebounds. Jaylen Brown chipped in with 13 points, while Josh Richardson had 12, Robert Williams had 11, and Dennis Schroeder added 10. It's hard not to like Orlando's chances in this spot. The Celtics have won 4 in a row and 6 of their last 7 games overall. However, with the trade deadline looming, Boston has some impending distractions to deal with. Meanwhile, the Magic come into this game playing some of their best basketball of the season. Orlando was outscored in every quarter, but the fourth as their slow starts have continued to haunt them this season. Even in defeat, they did have solid performances from Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, and Franz Wagner, who scored 22, 17, and 15, respectively, while Wendell Carter Jr. had a double-double. Our first betting pick will be Orlando Magic plus 7.5. While Orlando doesn't have a lot of tradable pieces, one player is starting to draw plenty of interest from contending teams. Big man Robin Lopez has been garnering attention around the league, according to Bleach Report. With the worst record in the league, the Magic appear primed to receive a top selection in the 2022 NBA draft. The bottom 3 teams in the NBA all get a 52.1% chance at a top 4 pick and a 14.0% chance to attain the number 1 overall selection. According to dunksandthrees.com, Orlando comes into Sunday's contest ranked number 28 in the NBA with an adjusted -7.7 net rating. The Magic also sports an adjusted 104.2 offensive rating, good for 28th in the NBA, and a 111.9 mark on the defensive end of the floor, which ranks 22nd in the league. With the trade deadline right around the corner, Boston is expected to be one of the league's busiest teams. While it doesn't look like the Celtics will move on from the duo of Tatum and Jaylen Brown, another former first-round pick could be on the move. Guard Marcus Smart has reportedly garnered interest from the Minnesota Timberwolves, according to NBC Sports. Boston recently discussed a trade for 12's guard Malik Beasley that would have sent Josh Richardson and either Aaron Nesmith or Romeo Langford to Minnesota. According to dunksandthrees.com, the Celtics rank 7th in the NBA with an adjusted plus 3.5 net rating. While Boston has posted an adjusted offensive rating of just 109.8, which ranks 22nd in the league, the Celtics have made up for it with the NBA's 4th best adjusted defensive rating at 106.4 through 54 contests. Our second betting pick will be under 216. Disclaimer, no financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information contained in or provided from or through this channel is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other advice. The information on this channel and provided from or through this channel is general in nature and is not specific to you, the user, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented on this channel without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory.